everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to share with you how I make my Caribbean style stewed oxtail. Come on, let's go. So for my Caribbean stewed oxtail, I have my ingredients here. I have tomatoes. I have an onion. You can use a white or red onion. I'm going to use a red onion today. I have some parsley, some flat leaf parsley. I have a finger of ginger. I have some green onions. I have a bay leaf. And I have some garlic. I also have some curry powder, some oil, some allspice, whole allspice, some gravy browning. Today I'm using the gravy browning. This video is not sponsored. I'm just showing you what exactly it is that I use. Also going to use some butter beans, and it's also grease. I'm going to use a little smoked paprika, and of course my oxtails. So that's it, guys. That's all you need for my Caribbean style oxtail. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and blend up my onions and my green onions and my parsley, my garlic. So I have my blender here. I'm just going to cut up my onion, any size. I just want to cut it up in there. It doesn't have to be a specific size. And I'm also just going to cut up my green onion. My parsley. My ginger. My garlic. I have 4 garlic cloves. You can go ahead and use more. Actually, I'm going to put 6 garlic cloves. I love garlic, especially in oxtail. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up my tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and transfer to my larger cup of my blender, because this one looks like it's going to be too small. I'm going to add my tomatoes. To this, I'm going to go ahead and add a little olive oil. About maybe 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I'm just going to let the blender do its thing. I did not use any water, because by the time the tomato blends, it will just liquefy everything down. It smells delicious. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside. I have my skillet here. I'm going to turn on my heat. My pot is nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and add some oil. So I have my oxtail. I'm just going to place it in my pot. I had already went ahead and seasoned my oxtail with salt prior to putting it in the skillet. So go ahead and turn it over. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. To this skillet, I'm going to go ahead and add my blended seasoning. To this, I'm going to add some smoked paprika. Some garlic magic seasoning, or any seasoning that you have. Some curry powder. I'm going to also add my bay leaf at this point. And some whole allspice. I'm going to go ahead and add some oxtail marinade and some gravy browning. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my oxtail back to my skillet. Just making sure it's nice and coated. I'm going to add about half a cup of water from the cup of my blender, which had the seasonings that I blended. I'm going to put the lid on here. I'm going to turn it up to high for about 7 minutes, and then I'll bring it back down to medium. I'm just going to let it cook the oxtail at this point. Unlike chicken and some other meats, oxtail doesn't release a lot of liquids, so I'm going to go ahead and add a cup of water, because I want to make sure it's cooked thoroughly and it doesn't stick to the bottom of my pot. And I'm going to turn down my heat to medium at this point. Because I'm using the thin sliced oxtail. Doesn't take that long to cook. I'm going to go ahead and add my can of butter beans. I'm going to put the lid back on and let it simmer for about another 10 minutes. So this is done. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my heat. My Caribbean style oxtail is all done and it smells and looks delicious. I'm going to go ahead and serve it up with some of my coconut, rice and beans from my Rise to the Occasion series here on my channel. Please go ahead and check that out, where I have this series of rice dishes from around the world. And in this series, Rise to the Occasion, I made coconut rice and beans. So if you want to see how that is made, check out that video to see how I made this rice and beans, and it's delicious. I'm going to go ahead and serve up my oxtails with my rice and beans. And here it is, guys, my delicious Caribbean style stewed oxtail with butter beans. And I'm serving this up with some coconut rice and beans. Okay, that's it. Now for the taste test. It's nice and tender, falling off the bone, which is what it's supposed to do. It is so good. Guys, it is delicious. Tender. I can taste the spices. I can taste the onions, the garlic, all my blended spices. It smells delicious and it pairs perfectly with the rice and beans. I made my Caribbean coconut rice and beans, and this stewed oxtail goes perfectly with it. So please go ahead and check out my series on rice dishes, guys. So we've come to the end of another video. Please leave me a comment in the comment section if you are going to try out my Caribbean style stewed oxtail. It is delicious, guys. Also, please go ahead and check out my videos on my rice dishes. The series is called Rise to the Occasion. and this is where I bring you rice dishes from around the world. This is where I teach you how to make different rice recipes, and it is great, a great learning tool. It's great to know how to make the different rice dishes. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If this is your first time, thank you. Please go ahead and subscribe. If this is not your first time, thank you so much for coming back. Please go ahead, comment, like, and share this video. Until the next video, I hope you guys enjoyed me showing you how I make my delicious Caribbean style oxtails. It was an honor for me to teach you today how I make my Caribbean style stewed oxtail. Until the next video, bye guys.